Hi, and welcome to Thursday Comics. I'm Tom Scioli, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King of Comics. I am Stan, a graphic biography of the legendary Stan Lee, and Jack Kirby's Star Warriors, The Adventures of Adam Star and the Solar Legion. I'm also the author of WITCHMAN, a new superhero comic book which recently had a successful Kickstarter campaign. So here's issue 137 of The Mighty Thor, the Thunder God and the Troll. At last, the immortal Avenger battles a foe as powerful as Thor himself, introducing Ulik. And we get the introduction of a really good villain for Thor, Ulik the Troll. Really good visual contrast and just sort of like a powerhouse that's more than a match for him. You can see how, Thor becomes Orion of the New Gods and Ulik becomes Kalibak. The Thunder God and the Troll. You can see how this picks up where the previous issue left off and how Thor is, has completely forgotten Nurse Jane Foster. In fact, she's not even mentioned in any of this and is now, head over heels over Sif. In all the unmeasurable universe, surely there be none save Stan Lee and Jack Kirby who couldst create such wonderment. Brace yourself, mortal, for the unending miracles thine eyes shalt soon behold. And as I talked about in the previous issue, if Jack and Stan wanted to take it in a more cosmic direction, they didn't need to substitute Jane Foster for Sif. In fact, this scene could, play out with minimal alteration with a sort of newly deified Jane Foster and Thor kind of, helping her learn the ropes as a newly minted Asgardian, as Odin had powered her up briefly in the previous issue. This could be a scene of Thor, sort of coaching her and teaching her how to, throw spears. And I think that would have been a much more interesting dynamic to watch Jane Foster grow into going from mortal to superhero under Thor's tutelage. I think it was a missed opportunity. Sif is giving her demonstration of throwing spears at this target, and then Thor banks his hammer, sends the spears flying, and then destroys all three of them with his hammer as it comes back. So these two get to have their little competitions, and the troll war continues. This guy's spying on them, and then they make their move and try to kidnap Thor, and they kidnap Sif. Thor breaks free, goes into action, starts smashing all their stuff. They shoot this giant arrow at him. I love the look of this contraption, just super inventive. This is kind of like, Kirby doing like a Lord of the Rings kind of epic. The Thunder God ends up being a tougher nut to crack than they thought, so they run away and they're talking up Ulik, mighty Ulik. He is our only hope. Nothing can stand against the might of Ulik. And Thor follows him. Beautiful silhouette here, like the color too. Thor enters this cave. Again, just beautiful stuff. And here is Ulik revealed. He's got these fist pounders and this armor, just, really, really cool looking first appearance, and we got like the verbal buildup, and then we see him, and it's just this very impressive visual that we're primed for. We have the sort of underground kingdom. Here's Gerador, the king of the trolls. They seem to know about Thor's Don Blake identity, and they're going to use Sif as a lure for the trap. Which again, I don't see why this couldn't have been Jane Foster. And they throw her down what looks like a prototype for the boom tube. And now it's the big fight, Thor versus Ulik. It's very intense, very exciting. Two beings of power, one sort of superhero, one a super beast, and it's just great stuff. You can see scenes like this echoed in the battles between Orion and Kalibak. And again, the fight continues. Thor's got his hammer, Ulik's got his pounders, and he's sending the whole cave down on Thor. A really great job of building Ulik up as a threat. And now he's really got Thor on the ropes, and he's about to give him, what might be the killing blow. But he gets summoned by a sudden beam of light, snatched away. And Gerador appears via this little window and tells Thor that he sent Ulik to Earth to hold Sif hostage and, Thor's going to have to go get her. He's going to have to go to Earth. And he smashes the window, but it turns out the window was just a view screen, and Gerador is nowhere to be found. And now they open the invasion shaft, this great gate, which again, beautiful drama and seems like another, prototype for the boom tube. Asgard must fall. The troops are being gathered, and off they fly in all kinds of scary looking high-tech contraptions. These are Trolls 2.0. These are, no longer like purely these mythical creatures from ancient days. These are a high-tech version of it. It's, kind of makes me think of like Warhammer 40,000. This is the genesis of that aesthetic of combining, trolls and Norse gods and things, and giving them these sort of, scary looking high-tech monster machines to tool around the universe in. And now Thor arrives on Earth, and I'm telling you, 2 issues into the Troll War, it's great stuff. This is really like a high point for Thor, and I think a turning point for Jack Kirby, as he's realizing that during World War II, comic book superheroes were at their most relevant. They had a real world threat to fight. And after World War II, they were never as popular. And, Kirby realizes you need some sort of galvanizing event, some overarching threat to give these superheroes something to do, something to fight against. And so, he's creating this troll war. Again, he's concocting his ideas for the new gods at this time. This war of the gods, this war against cosmic fascism becomes the central motif of New Gods, Forever People, and Mr. Miracle. And you can see the seeds of that beginning here. Beginning, the tragedy of Hogan, fabulously presented at its full flavor peak by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, inked by Vince Colletta, lettered by Artie Simic. And so in this story, we are learning a little bit about the backstory of Hogan the Grim, maybe the most mysterious of the Warriors 3, a guy who, just everything about him seems to scream interesting backstory. "'Tis Saguda, a warrior from my own homeland." So they help this guy down, and there's a villain named Mogul who's tearing things up, destroying everything. Hogan is angry, and he wants to take on this villain Mogul. And Mogul appears before them looking just amazing. Another amazing Kirby costume. And it seems like Kirby's creating like yet another pantheon, yet another world, yet another universe within the pages of Thor and Tales of Asgard more specifically. Just this never-ending wellspring of ideas, even when they are sort of maybe based on something in mythology, or this Mogul being sort of Jack Kirby's high-tech sci-fi pumped up version of the Tales of 1,001 Nights, just still oozing with originality. And there's something a little bit sad about this installment of Tales of Asgard, because this is the first part of the last Tales of Asgard epic. This is the there's a couple more chapters to finish out the story that's being set in motion here, and then that's the end of Tales of Asgard. So it goes out with a bang. It's a great send-off, but it's a little sad because up to this point, Tales of Asgard might be my favorite thing that Marvel's producing at this time, and it's sad to see it go. It goes away for many reasons, which we'll discuss more in future episodes. So Mogul flaunts his powers, and then he also has a Ginny Devil to sort of, complete the, 1,001 Nights motif. Really cool looking Ginny Devil. And now they're going to pursue Mogul to his Mystic Mountain. So next issue, to find the Mystic Mountain. Really good stuff, and it really builds to a crescendo, and I can't wait till next issue. I'm Tom Scioli, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King of Comics. I Am Stan, a graphic biography of the legendary Stan Lee, and Jack Kirby's Star Warriors, The Adventures of Adam Starr and the Solar Legion. I'm also the author of WITCHMAN, a new superhero comic, which recently had a successful Kickstarter campaign. I'll see you next Thursday.